the neck. That's the brainstem. That's the occipital ridge. Then I'm going to invite you to, Lisa, are you recording?
Yeah, I just started.
Okay, perfect. You're going to start to do this little head nod. Okay, nothing big, just a head nod. Bring your chin a little bit towards the sternum, towards the chest, and then lift the chin up towards the ceiling. And then just pause when you do that a couple times, just so you establish the weight of your cranium into the balls. And then start to feel where they're connecting, right? The side of the neck there, do you feel that? And then just breathe. So sometimes we do more of an acupressure. We just put something into the area and let the tissue start to release. So we can do a static pressure, and then we can also do movement. And then I'm going to come around and take a look. Where's your balls, hon? You got them? Okay, so I do too, but just don't use then just rest if you don't want to use it. Yeah. Yeah, you can still use it. Yep. So put it. Okay, let me see. No, it's just about getting you at the right place. It doesn't have to be a lot. Yeah, and then just move around a little bit. Tuck your chin. Put it up a little bit higher. So right here? Yeah, it's right. You see, move it for a second. Move it away. So right here. So right there. Yeah.
So after that, we kind of have to sometimes hold them in place. Like I have to hold mine in place.
So first come back on that. You're off the mat. So let's get you on the mat so you have something sticky underneath the ball. That could be a problem too, because it'll roll around a little bit. Yeah, it's it's just the way it is, but yeah, just see if you can. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, mine does. I don't know why, but just let it. Yeah, and if you need to hold it a little bit, it's okay. This is just one place. Okay, we're just trying it. But, what's that? Yes, keep it in. Keep it in. Yeah, let me check. Lift your head for me. So it's right here. Hold on. And then it rolls, but then you can move it even up. And if it keeps rolling, let it. But go bring it up on the skull a little bit, and then do the chin tuck, and then you can put it on the back of the cranium too. Like after the brainstem, then put it on the back of your cranium on the skull part. And then explore that. There's a lot going on in there too. That needs, how often you get your skull massaged? Right, so the back of your skull. Does that make sense? Yeah, do you feel it? Let me see, lift your head for me. Yeah, so let me get this out of the way. I'm sorry, I need to pull your hair. So from here, and then, wait. You only have one, where's your thing? This isn't working. Hold on,
I can go get it.
Yes, he needs a sack thingy, a meshy thingy. How you doing, Dawn? Good. Are you breathing? Are we breathing? My son, Alex, I used to tell him when he was getting ready, I'm a veteran, and he's also a veteran. When he was getting ready for the Navy, I took him running, and I'm like, Alex, you're not breathing. And he's like, Mom, if I wasn't breathing, I'd be dead. And I said, but you're not breathing well, Alex. You're not breathing well. I like what you're doing. I like it. So she's starting to explore going side to side. Yeah, going across the skull. Yeah. So that's all this is about. It's finding your little areas. And breathe. can't tell you how many toys I have at home. For the skull, for the neck. I just bought my son this thing, and it has these little hands. Have you seen it? It's so expensive. They sent me. I ordered two. They sent me one, and I kept on. I was like, I want my other one. It was like $150. I sent it to him for Christmas, late, because it came so late. And he gets it, and he's like, Mom, this is a very weird looking thing. My roommate wants to paint the nails. And I said, paint the nails? I said, it's supposed to look like little hands. And he's like, there's only 4 fingers, Mom. And I was like, I'm sorry, Alex. But it works. He goes, it does work. Because, man, anything we can do, right? Okay, and then after that, if you want to take it away, and then release your arms alongside you and just relax. Take the balls away, and notice if you feel anything different. Just notice if you feel anything different. And if you feel anything different, can you say, I do, or just let me know? Good, good. So even though it seemed like it is awkward. I mean, this isn't like paying big bucks for a massage, right?
He never wants any other thing, he just wants me to do his neck and his head.
Yeah, well, he's smart.
That's it, he doesn't want anything else, he just wants it.
Yeah, but it's different when someone else is doing it, right? Because it's effortful when we're doing it. But the payback, though, is big, especially if you do it often enough. Now what you can do from there is take it underneath the upper back. And then you're going to put yourself on top of it. And then just kind of let your upper back area meet. Oh my gosh. Woo!
Right, like your upper traps.
So the upper traps, yeah. And then just kind of move with it a little bit. So think about the balls going around your spine. You can do this all the way down the spine, by the way. Now the head can go back, or you can support the head, or you can start to lift like I'm showing on the stage here, and just kind of roll like, you see what I'm doing? Just kind of rolling, oh my. And then you can lean a little bit. And then you can start to roll down the spine like I'm scooching back. You can have your legs on the ball or on the floor, whatever you like. I like them on the ball. And then you can kind of just roll up and down the side of the spine. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And again, it's a little bit of a workout. Well, we did all that core work earlier. So we're all activated. You feel that? Yeah, you didn't know, right? I know, no, that's not good. That's not good. That's it, right? That's what we're looking for. Yeah, scooch around, wiggle around, inch around. I like the 2 because it goes up and down the spine. You can also do this, and if you want to go to a pillar, can I have somebody's, for a second, you look like you're suffering, so let me take yours. All right, these are bigger. What are these? Oh, these are bigger ones. Okay, so I'm over here, everybody. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them against the wall. And you can do this. And you can go up and down. And then you can go under the shoulder blade wing a little bit. Now you can also do one. But this is nice too, because I'm getting both sides of the spine. This needs to be a little tighter. Yeah. And then up and down.
And all the way to the end of the spine, like right to the
You can go under the, you can go all the way down. So I would just readjust. I got this belt on here. And then you're getting your wall squats in. You know what I mean? It's like 2 for 1 here. So you go up and down, and then I just adjusted. And I'm going lower. And then lower still. You can even go into your Bens and Jerry's. I like that Lisa turned the camera. You're so smart. And then you can start to wiggle. And then you can take one ball. You can even just, if I took it out of the thing here, and then you can do, oh my gosh. You you can circle around the sacrum, right? Like that. And then you can do the other one. Circle around. Okay, so yeah, everybody can try that out. I feel better already. That's incredible, actually, because I feel a whole bunch better now. Because I got a little wild in that dance class. So yeah, explore. And on the floor, you can do it one, right? I'm gonna keep it. So some of you still on the floor, great. So I'm gonna take one of these. And you can come up onto one glute. Now there's a lot of weight in there. So I'm gonna use it's a workout, but I'm gonna use my arms and my feet and to find that sacral ridge, right, deep in there. And then breathe. And then you can come off of it, rest, right, rest. I feel a huge difference in that glute. And then you can come over to the other glute. Come up on it. And you can move your leg. So you're just trying to find those different areas around the sacrum. OMG. Woo! Ah. Oh. Wow. I haven't done this in a while. I do the foam rolling, but this shows me that I need this. This is more specific. And I feel a huge difference in the glute. So it doesn't take that much, it's just about finding. Now, let's talk about our shoulder blade wing a little bit more, how much we have there, right? So you can come down and move into the shoulder blade. And then roll out to the rear delt. So exploring that shoulder blade. Other. Oh, and then if you find like a really intense place, if you're okay with that intensity, you can always back off, right? We're not trying to be rolfers in here. But it's really about you exploring different areas. But the shoulder blade wings and the rear delts can be pretty bound up.
Are you using one ball or two?
I'm using one. So the 2 is nice for the spine because it rolls down nicely through the center of the spine. And then the 1 single can be used for particular areas, right? You could, if you're like, I need a break from all that, you could bring the ball underneath the calf belly. Oh yeah. And find the gastroc and the soleus and just go up and down. Give your upper body a break. Breathe. Woo! Now last year, I didn't use them like this. We just use them for the feet. Yeah, but you absolutely can use them like this. I just didn't. I just kept it simple with the feet. Nobody in this room was here with me last year, right?
I was.
Wait, who?
Yes, you
Oh,
was.
you. You were.
I think you might have done the body.
Did I? I don't remember doing the body. I remember just doing the feet. And I had diagrams for reflexology, but yeah, but these are great. They're for this too. They're definitely for this. I remember once I went to Cape Cod, I don't know, I was invited down there, and my back went out so bad that I couldn't walk because of all my, all my back issues. And I had these balls with me, and I remember I went down on some really beautiful, it's like a walkway bridge kind of thing, wooden, and I could hardly walk, and I just got into my sacrum and my pelvic and my quad, and I could walk within 20 minutes. Huh?
You cured yourself.
You know, things come back, but like it proved to me, like it's a lot of it. What happens is these, you know, the bound up tissue start to pull things out of alignment. And I had driven down there, right? So I was in a car for hours, you know, which is so stressful on the body. And you know, and I think it was summertime, so there was a lot of traffic. I was stuck in traffic, which is, it creates stress in your body, in your mind, and that refers into the body. So long drives can be a bear. All right. That feels amazing. Are we ready for the foam rollers?
Yeah.
We do
Okay.
a little bit more of this.
You want a little more of that?
Yeah.
A little, you want to do a little more? Now what you can also do with these is you can come onto your front body. And then you can put it under right underneath the collarbone and the upper chest cavity, and just roll that tissue. And then go to the center. Do you ever get a massage and they go in the center and you feel the burning? You know what I mean? You can go right there in the center and you can roll. Now this is not supposed to look pretty, okay? But we're just rolling the tissue. So you can find the pectorals. And this feels pretty good just laying on the belly, you know? Now I just felt a neck vertebrae release, and I'm not anywhere near my neck, right? So it's all connected. So I'm here. I'm here.
Are you using two or one?
I'm just using one.
Yeah.
You can try both. You know, you can do it different ways. I don't know how, I've never, yeah, you can, oh my goodness. So again, the pillars. So something hard, you can come to here. Right? I kind of like the wall because I can go from side to side. The wall's really good because then I can really, you know, find some good pressure. That's amazing. And then you can come to the front of the shoulder. Oh my goodness gracious, that's awesome. Yeah, try that out.
Yeah, the wall is easier.
The wall is easier, for sure. So some of this, we're getting as much video as we can, but I'm going around the room and stuff, so just know that Lisa's doing her very best to get me everywhere. Now, have you ever done this? Now, I also bought this thing for my son. Well, actually, I bought it for him, and then I kept it with me for a while. I bought it in the shop. It was a mallet, and it was a massage mallet. And it had a long handle. I love it. And it had a long handle, and then you just pound. You just pound, and it's amazing. So like I kept the price tag on. I was like, am I gonna give this to him? Or am I gonna keep it? I sent it to him. And he's like, Mom, I like the mallet. He really liked it. He wasn't so keen on the weird hand thing, but I was like, dude, you better use that thing. Do you feel this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually have to roll it.
Yeah, especially, right? On the deltoid, where the bicep tendon meets the inner elbow, that area, oh boy, needs a lot of care. Can make a sound, just go, Good. Front of deltoid. Bicep tendon. Now this, right here, right against the scalene, boy do we need work there, right? That's probably why that person likes that. If I just had someone do that for me, that would be just awesome. And then go here in the front, right along the vocal cords. Woo! You feel that? And do the other side. Did you say it makes you dizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It can happen. So I liken this to like rolling out dough. You know, this is our dough. Smoothing things out, right? Oh my goodness. We need this stuff. Go in the center. I'm just gonna try the glutes for a second. So yeah, even in, you know, the dance class, I have people massage their glutes like this because we need it. We really, really need that area connected to. Because we're sitting a lot, right? And they're lying dormant.
Just a question, if it's okay. I'm curious whether you think there's benefit or difference between keeping the ball in one spot and letting the fascia in that area release versus doing mobility versus kind of switching around, or whether you're just having us get a feel for the ball and how that feels in our ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I was saying, sometimes it's more acupressure where you're just letting the tissue open up. You know, like a practitioner will push and just wait for the tissues to respond. So yeah, like when you put the ball in your occipital ridge and you let it sink in to the tissues around the ridge, yes. And then rolling is also a beautiful thing too. There are the woman that we worked with, PJ O'Clair, she said to do both. She said both is good. Because if we just do this, we're not, you know, the fascia is sheaths, right? It goes up. So we want to connect, but then we want to roll it out. We want to stretch it by putting pressure into it. And that's how we stretch the fascia, right? It's more like of a floss, if you will. It's like a flossing of the fascia. But yeah, sometimes you can find a little spot and hang in. But this, you know, like this is, there's no separation. There's a fascial band that goes from your heel all the way up to here. That's one fascial band.
To where does it go? All the way up?
So it goes around, it goes from here, around your skull, into your
to the
third eye. Yeah. So there's many methods, you know, there's many methods, but both I think are really important to do. And the foam roller is about rolling the fascia in a continuous way. And the foam roller is good to lay into as well. Now, did you get where the glute and the hammy meet? Oh yeah. And then the hammy itself. Is what we gotta do though, you know?
Do you think knowledge of acupressure points in the body are reasonable?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is there's acupressure points on every single point of our body. They're everywhere. So just find, you know, you don't have to be a scientist or a doctor or a body worker to find the areas that need daily care, you know? That's why you go to most places and they'll have classes, rolling out fascia. You know, it's a big buzzword in the fitness industry.
So interesting, one leg to the other.
This is true. Very different. And then the hip flexor. Hip flexor quad. The only place that we don't do something like this is the abdomen, of course. We don't want to harm the organs, which you won't. I mean, I've rolled my belly, but we are told that that's one area you don't really want to be.
Aren't there
You know,
like
you can do a
bigger
gentle,
Aren't there like bigger balls for moving into that?
Well, the foam or the physio ball, right? So we did a gentle rollout. Remember when we were rolling on top of it?
Yeah.
That's what we were doing. That's why I said you might have a good elimination later.
Yeah.
Did it work? Okay. Are you ready for the foam roller?
Yes.
Okay. So you're welcome.
Just a quick.
Now I
question.
feel so much better. Yes.
You showed us a couple of different ways to use the balls. Which of those, if I was to only do one, is like the highest?
Which what? I'm sorry,
Rolling on it against the wall. smashing
Every
it.
way, every way. There's always different ways to do everything, and the thing is like pick what feels right, right? On the floor was great, and then on the wall I felt like for me personally was easier. I like this. This is what I do a lot of, is just standing and pummeling, right? So whatever you're gonna do, right? Because we can learn all this stuff, but are we gonna put it into practice? That's why in this program I always have people get their stuff so that you bring it home with you, and it encourages you to use it. And then use it the way that it feels right. You know, I use this every single day, no matter what. I use these, and I use 2 different kinds every single day.
I think the intent of my question is I get overwhelmed.
Well, absolutely. Well, I was gonna stop with the feet.
One of those to sort of start with.
Yeah. Whatever, like I said, that's why I kept it simple with the feet, but this is a device that you can use on every body part, anything you want. This is all tissue that needs released. That body stocking, if you've ever seen the fascial body stocking, everything is enraptured in it. It interpermeates every organ, and it looks like the chicken, you know, the firm part of the chicken fat, that's what it looks like. And there's not a lot of blood flow in it, right? There's blood flow more in the musculature underneath the fascia, but the connective tissue is very dense. That's why we're doing this. We're hydrating it. It's called hydrating it. And some of it's called flossing. You can even do stuff like this.
So I think maybe your point is that if you only had time to do one thing.
Which one would I recommend?
Yeah.
The feet.
Yeah.
I would recommend, that's why I stick with the feet, because absolutely. Well, it's up to you. That's why I said the feet, you know, it's up to you what you're gonna do, what you wanna do, and then sometimes you're like, I don't wanna do my feet. I need my occipital ridge, or I need my glute, or I need my traps. Every day's different, you know what I mean? That's why I say, I'm a busy person. I teach constantly, so I do what feels overall good, you know what I mean? Like, I know when I get off of there, I feel better. When I get off of these things, I feel even better. And this is like, sometimes, you know what I mean? But it's so good to find something that you're like really called to do. Yeah, but I love the feet because it again connects to the lower kinetic chain. If you take care of your feet, that's gonna go all the way through the body. That's why I generalize it like that.
I personally found that like the feet one made my entire body feel more aligned and lighter.
Yeah,
And then this is nice if I
Yes.
am, let's say, going somewhere and I have a long time of standing or sitting and I don't have anything to take with me. One of those is easy to go around and be like this while you're standing somewhere.
yes.
But
And it'll get you to the front of the line very quickly.
this is my boyfriend.
That's your
Oh,
boy.
no.
That's your new
Oh
boyfriend.
no, this is not gonna get me to the front. This is not gonna get me to the front. I think this is gonna do it.
All right, this is gonna do it. Yeah, but you know, and they're all great questions, and you know, there's no right or wrong or cookie cutter. It's so personal why we do what we do and choose what we do, right? Because this might be like your favorite thing, whereas for me, those two are my favorite. But I love these for the feet. I really, really love it. And like you said, it does, like if you remember when we just focused on the feet, how I know my body felt a ton different afterwards. And I feel even better now that we did all the others. I feel even better. So you could mix and match, you know, choose one day to focus on that, or you could just, these are so easy to bring with you too, right? Anywhere. You know what? Sometimes when I drive, like I took a long trip in May, I put these behind my lower back, and I tried to put some pressure, because this is where because there's compressed discs down here. So this is where I put that, so it could just make some space there, so it could support while I was driving. So I like that idea too, to put things behind you when you're driving, especially long drives. All right, if we're ready.
One last thing.
Yes.
I got up at 4:30 this morning and I've overeaten all day when I was
I
starting.
had a
this-
feeling you were going to do that, Don,
Well, when
because it's so good
by
here.
doing this, it just kind of lifted my whole body up. Took the
Wonderful.
tiredness away, took the soreness away. Wow, it's amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah, it really is. Thank you. I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, we like to eat here. We really do. We're always digesting here. So the reason why I sent the link with the particular, this is the original, this is so old. This is like from 2017. And this is, so let me just back it up. When I
was working at Canyon Ranch, we used those white foam rollers. Can you give me one of the white ones? Now I'm gonna, thank you. And now I'm gonna invite you to feel these in a bit. They're so different. So this one is hard. We call this a hard density. This one is a soft density, the one that I use for years, and this one's a medium density, but still soft. So we were teaching a class called Roll and Release, and PJ O'Clair was our teacher, and she would come and go and work with scientists, and you know, the fascia was a big deal. It's just a big deal. It used to be muscles, now it's fascia. So I can hardly breathe when I use this one, to be honest, especially on the IT. But you know, I was a fitness person. It was like no pain, no gain, you know, kind of a thing. So she came back after like 2 years of us using this, and she says, we got to throw these away. And I was like, what? She's like, we're going to use these now. And so we started teaching with the one in the middle, and I was like, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. You know, and I thought that was not I thought it wasn't working. She said to me, she says, Antoinette, what we found is the only hard thing on the human body is the bone, and that's not what we're rolling. We're not rolling bones. We're rolling out connective tissue. And even though it's firm, it's not like a bone. And that really made sense to me, so I was like, okay, let me give this a chance. So I kept teaching, and what I figured out after a while of getting used to this is I felt so much better than I did with the white. Because my body would sink into it, I could breathe. What can happen is actually the lattices of the fascia get a little tighter when you hold. It's like if you get a deep tissue massage and they go too deep, you know what I mean? And you're like holding on for dear life. That's not always great. It can make some change. I've had a lot of Rolfing done. My ex, I called him the fascia master. I mean, he went to 100% straight away. And I was like, dude, could you go a little slower? Because he's like, we're gonna make a change. And I'm like, well, let's do it a little slower. So that's the difference. This one, and I'm gonna let you all play around with these two, because I notice everybody has, very few of you have the one from the link. I'm really surprised. Is yours from the link that I sent? What happened?
For some reason, I couldn't find the link.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
not here either.
It was, because I checked the program thing and it was on there. Because last year I made the boo-boo and everybody came in with the right one, remember, but it was like the travel size one. So I made sure this year to make sure that you had this one. It's from Merrithew. This one is from Melt. Some of you have heard of the Melt series. Yeah, so you all have a different one though, but we're gonna do our best.
Have you seen
What's this one?
This one's really good.
Let me see this one. I know I noticed that one. Ooh, girl, I like that. Likes that. All right, let me try this out. I just wanted to see it. Try it out.
It's from, it says it on the other side where it's from.
Super pretty. Super soft.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is, and I'm gonna invite you to do it too, is just sit on the foam roller. Okay? And then if you start to see those colors that are not here, I'm gonna invite you to try the blue, okay? But I'm gonna try this one out for a moment. So the first thing it is, we sit on it, all right? And you put your hands behind you and you start to roll on your sacrum. Like this, we roll. I'm gonna go all the way down, I'm just gonna see. That's so soft. It's very really luxurious. Very luxurious. And cheaper. I know, these are like $80.
That's why.
Yeah. So you're sitting on it, your hands are behind you. What do you got over here? What's that? That looks, oh, is that a travel one? Okay. The only, here's, let me feel that. Yeah, I would say the white one would be better with that, because it's the same density, and this one's gonna give you more runway. I think this one's good. This, yeah, that's great, that's great. These are good, these are good. Now, breathe. You got a short one back there. Take this, I want you to use this one, okay? Yeah, you're gonna see the big difference. So we have a wide body. We wanna roll all the way through. So I'm gonna use this one. And then hold on, I have more. So who's seeing colors or not here? I know you are, I can tell. But let's see. Who's got a, okay. Let me see yours. It's a guy but that looks hard, right? Yeah. Try this one on. Yeah. And then what we'll do is we'll switcheroo, okay? I need to keep one for myself just to show you all things. Yes. Yes. And then we can switch with people, okay? So this is one unfortunate thing is like I was hoping everybody would have these ones. Because it makes a difference. The thing is, it's gonna work, but you're gonna feel a lot. Okay, so we're on our sacrum, okay? Hands are behind. And then you walk your feet forward and you lean into your back and breathe. Now you don't have to do everything I do or do it the whole time. This is important. If you feel something that doesn't feel right, just come off, just have a seat, okay? And take a break. And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to roll up from the lower lumbar to the mid-thoracic cage. So I'm gonna lift the arms and I'm just gonna start to meet the foam roller on my back body. Now I do all kinds of things with my arms. You can bring your hands behind your head if you need that support, or you can open your arms and open up the shoulder blades like this. And we're gonna try different things because it's gonna hit different areas, right? So I'm opening up, breathing. And so just several rolls. And then at some point, we can come up to the upper back and shoulder area. How's your breath coming along? Take a deep breath. Exhale. Oh. Good. Yes, be careful of your hair. I don't have to worry about that. But if you have hair, be careful because it will go under. Don's gonna be careful with his hair. Now, let's wrap our arms around. Try this. You see yours. So wrap your arms around you like you're hugging yourself. I can handle this. I can handle this. And then you're gonna roll to one shoulder blade. So you're gonna lean a little bit over to one shoulder blade. Roll a few times. Actually, see, this is why I love this. I can feel it. Oh yeah. And then lean over to the other side. Breathe in and out. And then like you're taking off a big bulky sweater, lift your arms over your head and let the hands come in front of your pelvic, and do this a few times like you're lifting a sweater off your head. Around your head and around the body, and then reverse. Take your arms open, wide, and then bring your hands down through the center. Just do this a few times. Inhale, and then exhale. And then what we're gonna do, my friends, because that's enough, we're gonna bring our buttocks on the floor and we're gonna put our occipital ridge on the foam roller. Okay? So just let your head rest. And then we're gonna go from side to side. So you're in your neck now, and we're just gonna lean from one side to the other. Who likes this one? Yeah. This one I do love. Yeah, it's easier than the ball. Oh yeah, than the little ball? Oh my gosh, yeah. But this isn't as specific as the ball would be. But it's good anyway. And this is good to, you know, like if you just need to do a full body thing, that's why I love the foam roller, because we're gonna do all the body parts. And then you might lean yourself over to one ear and then notice your opposite shoulder and see if you can just gently push the shoulder to the floor. So one ear is towards the foam roller, opposite shoulders to the floor. Breathe in and out. And then slowly roll, keep it in contact with the foam roller. Go to the opposite ear, press the opposite shoulder down, and just sustain that position as you breathe. Breath in and out. Relax your jaw. And then come on back. Now what I like to do sometimes from here is let the knees windshield wiper. Just let the knees go right and left. You can even allow the knees to linger on one direction. Just let the knees go over one direction. Feel your skull pressing into the foam roller, the base of it. Relax your jaw open. Notice your belly rising and falling with breath. And then very slowly go to the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Now what I like to do sometimes is bring your soles of feet to touch. Let your knees splay apart, cobbler's pose. Breath flowing in and out. And then take your hands to your outer legs, draw your legs parallel to each other. And then we're going to take one arm out to the side, pour our body over. You can let the foam roller just stay in contact with your head as long as possible. And then take your top hand and gently press yourself up. We're just going to take our legs wide and just sit for a moment. Just kind of take a little inner inventory before we go further. Breathing in and out. Just notice you might even take your right hand to your abdomen, your left hand to your heart. Take a nice full breath in and out. So what I hope we're noticing is some space, just some internal spaciousness. Maybe just feeling different in the body. And then from there, we're going to go into our quads. We're going to come back and do our hamstrings, but we're going to do our quads. So we're going to come onto the mid-thigh. So the foam roller is going to go between the hip and the knee. And then this is going to be hard for me because I have to crawl. So you're going to bring your forearms to the mat. And we call this the soldier crawl. And the white ones, we're gonna feel it. So your thighs are up on, so Dawn, see if you can get your thighs on the foam roller. And then you're just pulling yourself. So we're gonna start with the center of the quad. You can go all the way to the pelvic and come all the way to the front of the knee. Just breathing in and out. And now I'm looking up because I'm looking at you all, but I would love for you to look down so that your neck doesn't strain. Are you breathing? Barely breathing, okay. And then what we're going to do is start to turn the toes from side to side as you roll forward and out. So just like a windshield wiper going side to side. And then if you find an area you're like, I just want to hang out there, just hang out and no difference. Breathe in and out. And if you're like, my upper body is tired, guess what you can do? Lay your upper body down and you can put your head on your hands, and that is perfectly fine. This is it will require a little bit of strengthening from the shoulders. And then what I do is I bend one knee, like I'm showing here on the stage. I'm just bending a little bit because I'm going to go through the inner line of the leg. So just a little bit, I'm just going to work on one inner leg. You feel that? It's a whole different world in there. So I'm just bending, right? It's the knee is kind of pointing out to the side. I feel like this can be like a healthy addiction, you know? The self-massage stuff. Breathing. I just felt my toe release, my big toe. Okay. Now, the seat of the sole muscle, the psoas, it connects from the L3, L4 vertebrae, and it wraps around the hip cradle, and it goes in towards the pelvic and down into the inner leg. That's what we're connecting to also, and to the sartorius, right at the inner knee. So, for that deep connection, we need that, because we can't really get to that muscle very easily. That's psoas. Then after you've done that for a while, you might want to rest, and then we'll do the other side. And I like to just do what I'm doing here. The foam roller is at the top of the hip crease, and it's just nice to let go here. Breathing in and out. This way. I may not like it when we get to the IT though. Okay, so then when you're feeling a little bit more recovered, now we're going to start to roll the other inner line. So you're going to bend that other knee, and you're just going to crawl yourself, and it takes some time to kind of get a rhythm, a flow. So just rolling through all the way to the knee.
Feels so good.
It feels so We need this stuff, right? We really do. We really need it. Your body needs it. It's not always easy to get massages for several reasons. One, it could be financial. Two, it could be finding the right massage therapist for you. Three, it could be a scheduling thing, right? All those things, you know, because I talk to people all the time, they're like, I haven't had a massage in a year, you know? and that is very common these days. So this is your own masseuse, and it's always with you wherever you are at home, right? You just have to think about like doing it, right? Making sure that you do it once in a while. Now from here, I'm going to show you something. I'm just going to show it to you first, okay? I'm going to lift myself and then roll through the shin and the quad. It's called the jackknife. It is building a little strength, but that's not a bad thing to do, right? Now, if you do it and you're like, no, that's not for me, you don't have to do it. It's kind of fun, right? Whee!
I've done it different.
Just like an inch one.
Yeah, kind of like an inchworm, yeah. Whee!
I feel like it's more strength.
It can be, but I mean, I feel all of that. Like, as I'm pulling, it's like rolling out the dough. Pulling the tissue, Now the shin isn't a meaty area, right? But it still has fascia, right? Of course. Now sometimes I'll be here and I'll do some cat and cow. It kind of feels great. If you ever tried it, do some cat and cow here. And then from there, come on down, relax, let go. My kind of go-to spot is right in front of the hip again. And just let go. It's a lot, it is a lot of strengthening, it is a lot of work for sure. Because we're gonna do something else while we're here. And I'm gonna show you first, you can peek up at me. So what I'm gonna do is when I'm rolling, I'm gonna bring my legs like that. And then you're gonna feel more in the quad. Whee, bending. And you know when you flex your heel, do you feel the difference? And then when you point, try the different foot position. Okay, nice. And then what we're gonna try is crossing one ankle over the other and just rolling out the leading leg. There's gonna be a leading leg. Still gonna get a little the other thigh, but notice there's a lead leg there. You feel that? Oh, I forgot how good the white one actually feels. And then uncross and recross so that the other leg is on top. And then from there, I'm going to invite you to come on up and have a seat beside your friend, the foam roller. You can nickname it, give it a little name. I'm going to name this one Blanco. So we're going to do probably the most sensational area, which is the iliotibial. And it is a tight fascial band on the human body. So the white ones you could feel more. I've given all my blue ones away. So if anyone, if it's too much for you, just let us know, and then maybe, and Lisa has hers that she wouldn't mind offering. Thank you, Lisa. So I'm gonna show you first how we're gonna enter this one, okay? So you can start on either side, this other way. So I'm gonna come up like this. Then I'm gonna bring the forearm, the closest arm down, that's gonna be important. And then I'm gonna take the top knee, so I'm gonna get a 2-for-1. I'm gonna get a little bit of connection to the inner knee. Now this bottom leg is straight, that's the leg we're working on, is the straight bottom leg. And then I'm just gonna do the shoulder crawl a little bit. And pull myself, and you're gonna start to feel connecting points, okay? Just rolling like that, and then we can turn the toes. First it's just long sweeps, and then you can turn the toe in and out a little bit. Oh yeah. Ooh. What's that? No, you can use it, it's fine. I'm starting to like this one. I'm getting used to it. It's not that bad, actually. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. So that's good. I mean, that's for me, though, because I do this, I do roll out the fascia. Lisa's like, I got a soft one, I'm feeling it, right? You also had to do a lot of shoveling. Does anybody know what song this is? Amazing Grace. Now, I love the feeling of the top knee. You feel that? The inner knee getting some connection. And even through that inner shin where the calf belly meets the shin. And then you can land in an area. Like now I'm going to take the foam roller into my outer hip. And then I'm going to sweep the bottom leg fore and aft. top knee is on the foam roller, and your bottom leg, so Dawn, you're not on it. You're rolling out your ankle, Dawn. That's great. So the bottom leg, you feel that? You feel that when you're swishing that leg? Oh yeah. And then you could even do some bicycling with the lower leg. Bending it and extending it. We're just like bears on a tree, finding our spots. And then from there, doesn't have to be long. We're gonna take our top hand, press into the floor, come down off the foam roller. Take a moment to sit. Maybe close the eyes or find the drishti. Oh my goodness, I feel a huge difference in that leg. Oh, holy moly donut shop. Wow. How's it? How you doing? Thumb up. Okay, good. One thumb up.
Dizzy.
Dizzy? Yeah, this is moving a lot of energy. A lot of energy. The good news, well, the sound bath is going to move more energy, just so you know. But it is very relaxing at the same time. And then you sleep, and then that'll help to settle everything, to integrate you. Okay, so we're gonna do the other side. Can't wait, it's super excited. Is he sleeping in the back? He's taking a nappy? Aww. Aww. I know, it's wonderful. I love it. Okay. So then we're gonna get ourselves up on top. And then this bottom arm, you know, I put the elbow under the shoulder, but it moves around and that's okay. So then you're on the outer hip now. I'm gonna take that top knee onto the foam roller, use the top hand also, and start to pull. So it's long sweeps typically first. Breathing in and out. How's that for you? Is that one okay? Now one side could feel different than the other. It just could. Because again, we have patterns, right? We have ways that we hold tension different areas. This one I'm starting to see colors that are not in the room. Wow. But in a way it feels good, you know, because it's like, oh yeah, I didn't realize there was so much bound up in there. And then you can turn the toe down and up. You know, that bottom leg, turn the toe down and up a little bit, hitting different areas of the outer leg. You're all very quiet. This is, if you're gonna feel a lot, this is where. It's kind of good, it's a good hurt, right, in a way? It's like, oh yeah, oh my good. And then as you sink into it, then it gets another layer, right? Woo! Starting to see gnomes and fairies. Now if you want to, take that lower leg and just do like a swish. Just fore and aft. Woo. Wowzers.
You got enough? Oh, yeah, thank you. Do you want to try it? You sure?
She wanted the white one back? Or she wanted the white, or she, oh, she didn't, okay. Oh, I see, oh. Oh my goodness. And then when you are ready, let's come off. Huh? Yeah. Yes. No, it's not gonna, it's not gonna injure.
No, if you've already.
Oh, if you've already injured.
Is it beneficial?
Yes, it is beneficial.
Okay. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if I was
I mean,
right.
if you're in an acute place, if you just injured it, no. No.
It's been a while.
If it's been a while, things have settled in, you should be fine. But if it's like you know, we have like this acute thing where an injury happens, like we have a fall, right? No, we're not gonna foam roll after a fall unless you feel like you're okay, you know, but you wanna wait till the tissues heal. And then what happens is, and this is what my surgeon said, I mean, I had 2 hip surgeries. I had one original, and then I had a hip replacement with a knee surgery. But he got into my scar and he's like, Antoinette, are you moving this tissue around? I'm like, no. I mean, I'm rolling. He goes, no, you gotta, he put his finger in there. He's like, you need to move that tissue. You need to get the blood flow because you'll get more range of motion. And so he told me that and I was like, oh, okay. And so he pushed in and he got in there and he's like, now there's some more movement in there. So that makes sense to me too, because what happens after an injury, everything just grabs, right? Or a surgery or something like that. So in order to get that mobility again, we have to floss the fascia. That's what we're doing. How do you feel?
Great.
Good. I feel so much better. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. All right, so now we're gonna do our hamstrings or tofu strings. So, but first let's do our calves, because that's a little bit, yeah. And Dawn, you're good with the calves. You're doing good there. So the first thing is just put your calf bellies on the foam roller and just do a little swishy, just a little side to side swish. This could be enough. You feel it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then you can move the foam roller so you can get to the lowest area of the calves. Oh my. And then, you know, you just move up inch by inch, swishing the legs.
This is so good.
Yeah, I love this one. And then to the meatiest part of your calf belly.
It's so weird because you think that your calves are tight because you can almost get your heels to the ground. and
Yes.
down dog, but they still.
But that's a whole, this is a whole
Right.
different, yeah.
It's still really hard.
Yeah,
That is so nice.
yes. And then once you do that for a while, then you can go into the valley of the kneecap, right underneath the ridge there. Breathe in and out. And this is like a generalizing of it. And I like what you're doing back there, so you can do that. You can tap-a-roo.
That's really good.
You can turn your toes in and out. Oh yeah. You're gonna be a whole new person after this. You're like, who am I? And then from there, you ready? You're gonna lift a little bit and you're gonna roll. This is a little bit of an upper body workout. So if that's not for you, then just stay here, because then I'll show you that. But just to show you this first. So you can roll like that, turn the toes in and out. Oh. And that makes a difference, right, when you rotate in. And you can also just hold the rotation in and do a few and feel that. So there's that continuous connection. And then rotate the toes out. Now before we do anything else, guess what? We're gonna put the foam roller underneath our knees and slide your hands down the legs and let your torso drop over your lower body and enjoy. Just take a few deep breaths. As you relax, let your shoulders relax. Just let it all go. Let's look left and right, left shoulder, right shoulder. A couple times, forward, aft a few times. Inhale your breath. Pull your belly button in, and on your exhale, just walk your hands up your shins, back up onto your knees. Take a moment, let your spine unfurl into neutral, which means honoring the 3 curves. Do you feel some weird sensation in your legs? Blood is moving. And then from there, we're gonna bring our hands behind us. Now, we're gonna do a circle. So we kind of did this on the physio ball, where the knees go out, and then the knees go in. Holy moly. And then I just felt the spot that I didn't know existed, so I'm gonna go there for a second. That can't heal it till you feel it thing really applies to what we're doing, right? When we start to feel these areas of the body that we just didn't know, we can't know. But once we do know something is going on there, then we can really find our way in there and make a little change. I think my favorite is the swish. But yet, there's more. So we're gonna take one leg over, if you wanna try, and that puts more pressure, more weight into the calf. That might be too much. Turn your toes in and out. Woo!
So is this something, if you feel like a ropey kind of sensation, that
Yeah.
you just keep after it?
Yeah, I mean, if it's, yeah, we're gonna feel heightened sensations. But there's a difference between like what I'm feeling, like, oh yeah, there's some tenderness, there's something going on there, there's bound up tissue. But like a twinge, like when your back feels like it's gonna go out or something, that's a whole different kind of a sensation. And that takes mind-body connection and really listening. But if you feel anything that you don't like, that's not good, then just come out of that, okay?
Thanks.
Now let's do the other side. This side will get envious. Now this side I'm feeling even more. Yes. Can you believe you paid for this? Paid for this torture.
So good.
And it's good though, right?
And so, I'm sorry, all the questions, but,
Don't worry.
so my shoulders keep me from coming up off the ground.
Yeah, so this one can be a lot. This one is like there's a lot of upper body getting used. So if that's too much, you can lean back and you don't have to do, the lifting. I mean, it is going to build a little strength, and the feminine tends to have stronger lower body than we have upper body, right? That's just typical. It's not across the board. But this is also a little bit of a strength building thing, which might not be, as long as it feels okay, If I had you in vinyasa, I'd be doing cat cow push-ups with you. I'll show you what those are for strengthening, because we do need that, We got all those grocery bags, and I don't know about you, but I'm a one-trip person.
Well, it's just way different.
Yeah.
And now,
What do you like better?
let's take care of these hands that have been working so hard by clapping first. Take the heel of one hand and tap the other inner hand. Because the hands, they get a workout here. Right? And then rub your hands and then soak them. I do this stuff with my hands spontaneously. Good morning. All day long. And then do the twist of the wrist, because that was a lot of pressure on the wrist, right? Do one hand and then the other, and then pull the fingers at least once, because there's more. Right? So we're giving the hands a little recovery too. Now take your right hand like a claw and just pinch the upper trap. Let's give the foam rolling a break. Now, I don't know about you, but you can do this anywhere, right? Just give a squeeze. And then squeeze the shoulder, and then go into your bicep, your forearm. And then take a moment, let your hands rest upon your legs. Notice that arm you were just working with. Let's do the other one. So pinch the upper back trapezius. And then go down into the shoulder, the bicep, the forearm. Master Adam will be so proud of me. Yeah, I love what you're doing. And then relax the hands for a moment. Take a moment to notice that arm you were just giving some attention to. Because again, it's not during this process, because it can be challenging, but do you feel the result of it? That's what we're hoping for, is that we feel different, we feel better. You know, we are layers. We're layers and layers and layers of information, right? Experiences. And I don't love to use the word trauma, but it's there, whether it be emotional, physical, you know, anything that's happened, accidents we've been through. You know, cells have memory. And so what we're trying to do is just let some of it go, right? So we do feel a little bit more free in our body. Now we're ready for your favorite, hamstring. So we're gonna go up and down from the back of the knee. So you can be here if you need to. You can try this. You know, it's for me, the shoulders feel a little bit much. It's just, that's the thing with this stuff. It is a little bit of a workout, for sure. So we're rolling from where the glute meets the hamstring, so that connection, down. This is literally rolling your dough. You see that? Spreading it out in the very best way. And then again, turning your toes in and out, hitting a different area. Breathing.
You're welcome.
Yes, she wants to feel this one. It's her fave. And if you get tired, just take a break. Don't think you have to do it as long as I'm doing it. I'm just trying to get you used to using it, right? Get you comfortable, mind, body connected. That way it's not so foreign. Now, some of you, I'm sure, have used these things before. Does anyone like this one? And then release your torso over your lower body. Squeeze and stretch your hands open a couple times. I know it's a lot. Squeeze and stretch. All these things, even when I teach a vinyasa class, when we're doing our chaturangas, we always come back to this with the hands. And then flick all the fingertips off the first joint of the thumb. And then rub your fingers together. And then let your hands just rest somewhere on your legs, ankles, feet, wherever they lower to is fine. Drop the weight of the cranium to your chest. Take a deep, full breath. And exhale. Letting go. And then we're going to slowly come up. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is the abductor. I love this one too. And not, you know what, not a lot of people do this one, but I think it's really good. So what we get to do is come onto our belly. And what I do is I angle the roller out to the side. So if I put my right leg up on it, I'm gonna angle it a little bit to the right, and I'm gonna slide it under. And then I'm gonna roll the foam roller until where the hip and groin are meeting. And oh boy, already I feel it. So it's inside of that area. Start in there, and then start to drag along that inner leg. And then the lower part of the leg from the knee down just kind of relaxes to the floor. And you're dragging. Lisa, see if you can push your foam roller to your left knee. Angle it a little bit. It's going to hit it differently. Yeah, like that. What are you asking me? What's the question?
If your top leg is straight? Or?
No, the top leg is bent. Okay. Yep, the top leg is bent. It's in almost like a 45-degree angle at the knee. And your arms are over to the other side. Your forearms are on the floor, and you're just rolling that inner line. Yes. This is an intimate area. Right, and even when we get massages, they don't always focus on this so much. So then, if you can look up at me, what I'm going to show you is this internal and external rotation of the knee. So I'm going to point the knee down and then up.
Yeah, it's really hard to see.
Sorry, stand up, because if I stand up I can't do it. So, see that? I'm rolling like that. You see that? So we started here, right? Just sliding in and out. And then a little different angle, just like we did for all the other areas. We can angle a little bit differently, a different area. And then I'm gonna invite you to lower your torso and let go. And just sink in. Just sink in. Let your head feel supportive of the floor or your hands. And breathe. This is similar to a half froggy, but you have a foam roller, right? And sometimes in like a restorative yoga practice, we'll do half frog and put a bolster underneath there. This is similar, so it's supporting the release of the sacrum and the pelvic and the lower back, but we're getting a 2 or 3 for 1 by using a foam roller too. So we're getting the benefits of the opening of the hip joint, but we're also getting connective tissue release. Now from there, if you want to, if you look up at the stage, I'm gonna take my foot up to the sky and down to the floor. Internal, external rotation of the hip joint. Breathing. It's almost like a bar class on the foam roller. Just a few. Now, no rush, but we're going to come up to our forearms. And we don't even need to come off the foam roller, really. So I'm just going to take my outside hand and push it under. And then I'm going to turn myself around so you can see. And so you just kind of angle it to the other side. Now it's underneath your hand. We do what we need to do, okay? Can we move this ball so people can see it over here? Thank you. So then we're going to begin again. Okay, so if your left knee is on it, angle the foam roller towards your knee. So instead of straight, you can do it straight, but I mean, you can do it either way. I like it at an angle. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Woo! You feeling it? Now, if it's a lot on that upper body, come on down, take a, you can lay all the way down, and then you can go from just here. Just, using your leg to press the foam roller. And the forearms help you to get lower, right into the knee and up towards the pelvic. And then you can start to angle the knee down and up. I'm feeling like interesting in the spine, like dryness releasing, like popping in a good way, in a very good way. I didn't tell you this on the other side, we can go back, but get to the inner knee. Get to the inner knee and play around with that area on the inner knee. Just play around with just the inside, the anterior knee. So my surgeon, he said that the anterior knee is what humans wear out first. That's where arthritis can set in first. That's where we just work with that anterior knee more than the external. He says most people that the inner knee is where we get the injuries first.
Why is it so painful?
Well, you have a white one. And the white one is It's like the equivalent to a fascia master. Thank you. Try that one. That's so sweet of you.
Is it because we sit? These ones are also really tight.
It's because we've lived in our body for how many years, right? And we are the most, not that everybody is, and there's no judgment here, but we are a pretty sedentary generation. And so what's happening is we're losing mobility. We're losing mobility because the fascia is getting tighter and tighter. So if we don't address it now, then it's just going to get tighter, right? So that's why I decided, of all the things that I do, you know, all the different practices, I really think this is so important for people to do their own self-massages so that we don't lose mobility, so that we regain some mobility. Yes, we've been sitting since we were little kids in school, right? So we become what we sit on too, right? I've worked with bicyclists who have the tightest hip flexors in the whole world because they're in that position, you know, for so long. So it's also the patterns, you know, and it's just human bodies have pain, you know. I'm always amazed. I was working with kids for a while and they were like, this hurts. You know, part of me is like, shh, you have no idea. But you know, they're like, my back hurts. And I'm like, wow, it's starting earlier and earlier, you know? And as we use a screen more and sit more and slump more and all those things, then it just gets tighter. So if you start to do this more often, what I'm hoping after this session is you're going to feel a little different in your body.
So like in previous generations, like a farm boy didn't need this because he was always moving.
He was always moving. Now I'm sure they had their own issues with overwork, right? Or picking up heavy things. Interestingly enough, we had this class at Canyon Ranch called the Viper. It's called the Viper, and it was this long cylindrical tube, and they would talk about it, how the farmers are healthier because they move multi-dimensionally, right? So most of the time we're moving like 3-dimensionally, but really our body is designed, which is why I love yoga dance, because our body's designed to move many different ways. And that, you know, what we did in that dance class today is we hydrated our joints. You know, we moved in many, many different directions. Did you get to that inner knee? So we were like, yeah.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
I'm just curious, as someone who gives massages, whether there's still difference in or benefit in someone else doing it for you? What you
There's
recommend?
absolutely a ton of benefit from someone doing it for you. And in some ways more, right? Because you're in a relaxed state of being. We're working out here too.
Yeah.
You know, we're also using our body. However, we are feeling connected to our body. So I don't think this should replace your practitioner. I think it could supplement it. And it's also daily maintenance for our body, right? So, you know, there's nothing like someone getting in there with their finger or their hand and you in a relaxed position, right? But this is also, most people don't get enough of those though, right?
Yeah.
Especially
Myself
practitioners,
included. Yeah.
especially those who give.
I'm just wondering whether it ultimately you're doing the same thing with fascial release.
In
or is it
certain
still
ways, maybe, but not the same. They're
Not
not rolling. You know, I had a rolfer that would put me in child's pose and put one of these. Well, actually, it was a PVC pipe in between my hamstring and calf. It was horrible. It was really awful, actually. And then I came away with some hematomas.
Oh,
But you know, and
gosh.
they'd roll the PVC pipe up and down. And I was a bodybuilder. I was pretty built up with muscles, so I was feeling a lot. But yeah, you know, they're doing some wonderful things. But this is how we can make sure that we get enough physical body work. But I don't think it's as good as, and so I think it can be. And you know, it's just different. You know, because we're using muscles that we wouldn't be using if we were laying on a massage table. And the thing is, like I said earlier, we don't always find that right practitioner.
Yeah.
You know, I had one for a minute and she started really good, and then she had this like monthly fee thing, and then once she gets you into the monthly, then her touch was getting lighter and lighter and lighter, and I was like, just do it like the first couple times. Yeah. And I love her, but you know, it's just, And it's a lot for body workers. It's such a lot. It's a hard workout for them too, so I get it.
I used to do shiatsu in the past.
Mhm.
It
I
made
love
me cry.
shiatsu.
It made me cry every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Mhm.
It
I love
releases, it
ashiatsu.
releases memories. It releases a lot of different things.
It does.
Especially when they work on the abdomen area. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
Or the back.
And don't ever get a pelvic floor massage, because holy moly. Whew. I know, that's TMI, right? But it's really powerful work. It really is. Yeah. All that stuff is connected in there. Yeah. But the stomach too. Yeah, I had someone do the stomach before, and I couldn't believe how much was in there, and that's connecting into the lower back. All right, so now we're gonna do one that I love what that looks like, or that looks so relaxing. So what we're gonna do next is one of my favorites, you might like it. So we're gonna come onto our foam roller like this. We're gonna come up on top. And then what I do first is I release the occipital ridge. So I bring the base of the skull onto the edge, and I let the head release. And let the shoulder girdle start to open up, and the arms as well. Let the arms sink into the floor. And then you can do little head tilts. And I tell you, it's not as good when you have a microphone on. And you can move a little bit across the ridge. So we're using the edge of the foam roller now. These white ones, it's a good edge. You know, there's an edge to it. The softer ones, not as much, so that's fine. And that's good as well. Let's breathe in and out. And so again, what we're doing most of our day is flexing. So this is bringing in the curve of the neck. And when I was in the military, they always told us stand up really straight. And then I ended up with this straight neck, a military neck they call it. And that's not good. That's caused me some problems with the rest of my spine. So we want to honor that cervical curve. And then from there, you can inchworm down until the back of the head is actually on the foam roller, and just pause. We're going to step our feet nice and wide. Let the knees lean into each other. This is a positional release. This brings some space into the sacrum. And so we just establish ourselves into the foam roller. Breathing in and out. Does anyone like this? I love this. I feel like it just kind of helps to reset everything. And then, as you can imagine, we're going to start to roll. So what I start with is just reaching the arms wide and start with the upper back. Because of course, if you have a lumbar curve, you're not going to be fully connected to the whole spine. So we're going to put some pressure into the upper and then into the mid back and shoulder blades. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting one hand a little bit, and then I'm rolling along the ridge of the shoulder blade and then across to the other. And this is definitely like a bear on a tree kind of exercise where you're just trying to connect to certain areas, finding those different areas of the shoulder blades. And then you could even carefully reach one arm over to the other side like this. It's like a clamshell. And then if your head is lifted, it gets tired, so then you can let your head come back down. And then you can press your navel down to your lower back, and then the lower back will feel much more connected. So then we're going to get into the lumbar area and the erector spinae that are right along the lower back. And for those that sit a lot, that can be a very bound up area. Because that's what happens over time when there's not the support of the lower back, those lower back muscles just start to really get short and grabby. Now what you could do also is put one foot solid on the floor and let the other leg just hang off the foam roller. And do a little windshield wiper with that leg, so we let it go a little bit, let the weight of it go. And then you're gonna feel a nice release of the front of the hip flexor. And then there's all kinds of fun things we can do. We can do a bicycle. So we can lift knee up towards the chest, bring the knee in, and then extend the leg. And reach through the heel of the foot as it extends down towards the end of your foam roller. Just a few. And then maybe you'll reverse your bicycle. So the leg could be at 90, we could bend the knee and then stretch the leg lower than the foam roller's height. Remember, this is going to be on a video, okay? And then let's see if that leg wants to release a little bit more now. Since we add a little bit movement, just let the leg extend and lower to the floor. That looks good out there. And then let's do the other one. So we're going to take the leg up. Let's put it back down. Let's shake it out a little bit first, or make sure it's nice and relaxed. And then once you get it nice and relaxed, then lift it, bend, and just think of bicycling with one leg. And then after a few, just go the opposite direction. Breathing. And then let that leg go all the way back down to the floor. And just see how that front of hip flexor feels. Let's do some more jaw yoga. I'm sensing that we need it. So wetting the lips, rubbing the lips together, and then let the mouth open. Let's do the glider. Glide the lower earlobe to earlobe, side to side. Because again, it's relaying down into the hips. And then let's do the clock. Open the mouth really wide. Take the low row of teeth 5 times circle clockwise and 5 times counterclockwise. Make sure you go both ways. And then our favorite, Bugs Bunny Bulldog. And then from there, this is going to require a little balance. And it doesn't work for everybody, but I love it. So I want to show it to you. So I'm just going to take the legs 90 degrees. And I've got my hands wide and on the floor. This will imprint your whole spine, and it's gonna, it's gonna activate your deep core muscles, which is nice too. Breathe. You can also rotate the feet around the ankles if you're feeling balanced enough to do that. Breathing. Ah. Good. And then go the other way. You okay back there? Yeah. The good news is you don't have far to fall, but it doesn't feel good. Then if you can, very slowly, now this is an option, but you can take your legs open like a V or Y, but bend the knees a little bit. And then bring your heels towards the back of the legs, bend the knees, and stretch the legs out. I like to call this like dying bug. Those poor bugs. Bending and extending. Ah. then let your feet come down wide. And then we're gonna see if we can roll across the sacrum. Of course, there'll be other areas of your spine in contact, but see if you can press into the navel to the lower back, pressing lower back into the foam roller. I like this too because now we're giving our shoulders a break, giving our wrists and hands a break. And I find personally this one very calming. So I like to end with this one. And then let's bring our inner knees to touch again, that positional release. Take a couple deep breaths. Let's lift our hands and just let our hands circle around our wrists. And then let's take our hands towards the sky. And just imagine you're painting with all your fingers. Just let your hands start to make some waves, your wrists. And then roll the hands around the wrists, looking at them with admiration for how awesome they are and all that they do for us. Squeeze and stretch the hands, open and close. And then flick all the fingertips off the first joint of the thumb. And then let the arms yet again wrap around your best friend. And then this is where you can kind of move a little bit. Now what I do, I like to say it looks kind of like a snake. So I just kind of wiggle. I think about a snake mobility and how they have no resistance anywhere in their entire body. I'm pressing the lower tailbone area into the foam roller, thinking about like a rattlesnake tail. And then just kind of wiggling around all the way up to the middle of the back. And then your head can even kind of drift a few inches left and right. And then just let the arms, when you're ready, slide off the body. Notice how your body is feeling right now. And then we're going to take our knees, one knee at a time. So you're going to lean one knee towards the floor. I like what you're doing. Let's do that. Let's straighten the legs. I like that. Now let's first straighten the legs. It takes a village. And feel the front of the hip flexors fully opened. I often do this in a restorative practice with a bolster or a cushion on the lower mid-back. This is also lovely. Notice a full breath, full 3-part breath. Belly, ribs, chest. Inhale. And then exhale. Let it all go. There's no rush, but bend your knees when you're ready. And then I'm going to invite you to take one leg and just kind of let it come down and carefully slide down. Take that arm on that side and just slowly bring your head down and let yourself totally come into a sideline fetal shape. Unless you're still on your back, it's fine. But we're just going to pause here for several moments, relaxing the abdomen, softening everything. Let the hips, the knees, the ankles fall into each other. rush it all, but when you're ready, put your top hand to the floor. And without lifting the top leg, we're just gonna slide that top leg along our mat or floor. And that brings a nice stretch through the front of the hip. And then bringing your eye gaze to the floor so you don't strain the neck. Push that first hand to the floor and then the second one, and then just kind of walk your hands up towards that side hip. And then we'll come to center. Just let your legs open, or if you want to sit differently. How you doing? So, a couple things. We have some time. What also just came to me, we could either